You could be out there and you're like, I think this year I need to do some farming. But your challenge is, where am I going to get the soils that I'm going to use? You want to do maybe container farming, planting food in a sack. But you're like, where am I going to get the soils that I'm going to put in my bags, in my containers, and I do my farming effectively? Christina, the principal farmer, is just right here to work on those challenges that are disturbing you, to enable you have food on the table. Remember, we are here to see that everybody can have food on the table. We are here for hunger-free communities, because if you have food, it is very easy to spread the gospel to other people that this is what I did and I managed to reach here to get this food on the table. So what are you going to do? The thing is very simple. Christina, the principal farmer, has always the cheapest, the easiest, the quickest and best methods of farming. But before I continue, I want to thank you guys for watching our videos. I boarded a public means and I got that this lady was with a friend who was like, you know what? I've come to learn about this lady. She's a farmer and she's doing her farming in a very simple way. She has manure. They were watching a video where I was mixing some manure. So where I was, just behind them, I was like, oh my God, whom are they talking about? I first kept quiet a little. But as they continued, the friend was like, oh, she has a voice. You can think it's a very big woman. I was like, oh my God, when is the next stopover for this vehicle? But luckily enough, the two who were discussing, one stopped on the immediate stopover. I was like, oh, thank you. Because the story was still continuing. They were describing this lady who was just behind in the seat. I was like, oh, this is too much. But thank you guys, you're watching our videos. So whenever we are here, we bring you the cheapest, the easiest, the quickest and best methods anybody can use, farm and have food on the table. So today you could be with a challenge. You want to farm, you want to try the container, the sack farming. When I started this farming journey, that is how I also started. I used to use a lot of containers, a lot of these sacks. I still use them up to today. So I want to show you the easiest way you can really get soils for your farming. Welcome to my channel, The Principal Farmer. Subscribe and we'll do this together. Where I am, it's a rubbish pit. Yes, it's a rubbish pit. So you could be having your own rubbish pit. Or if you don't have, it could be a community rubbish pit. One way of beating some of the challenges that are disturbing you guys out there. Stop feeling shy or sorry for yourself that how can I, Christina, a bachelor's degree owner, do ABCD. Those things are going to keep you behind and you'll not do your work. So at this rubbish pit, this is at my home. I want to show you how we use the soils here, the soils of the rubbish pit, and we do farming. These soils are very healthy, the soils of the rubbish pit. Number one, most of the rubbish pits, people pour things like bones. This is a bone right here. And this bone, if it's burnt very well, you can see some powder is coming out of it. And it's not just powder. Bones are very rich in calcium. So your soils of the rubbish pit, if you use them in your container, in your sack farming, they are going to be very healthy. They'll give you a lot and a lot of food. For those who have been following me, even if you've not been following me, I farm a lot of onions in these sacks. I farm carrots in these sacks. I farm collards, kales in these sacks. And I always get a lot of food from these things. So this is a bone. I've shown you it is already pouring a lot of calcium, a lot of phosphorus. So the soils of the rubbish pit, they are very, very healthy for any farming. So what are you going to do? Go to your rubbish pit, or a community rubbish pit, or a neighbor's rubbish pit if you can access it. This bone, I've really loved it. It is just breaking. It is all burnt. Beautiful, eh? Have you seen, guys? Farming is so sweet. So go to this rubbish pit. The soils are a heap like this. Go with your garden tools. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't sympathize yourself. Dig out the soil like this. It will come with some stones. It will come with some particles, but don't mind. What you're going to do after you have dug the soils like this, get a wire mesh. A wire mesh is here, which I'm going to use. So you're going to sieve the soil of the rubbish pit like this. We can get a clean point, or the dust is a little much, but we shall bear. We are here to learn, so bear with everything we are going through to farm together. So we are going to sieve the soil like this. You can see other residues are remaining on top, and these residues here, you can just pour them aside, put them aside. And aside where you're going to put them, you can carry them along and fix some of these small feeder roads. If you're staying in a community which has feeder roads, very simple roads, those ones which people use and go to fetch water, you can carry these things. The stones which are there, they had particles. You fix for the village a road. They will appreciate. At the end of the day, these are the same people who will come for your burial. So you don't have to feel so sweet on the community. You pour them aside. We can use them later. But whatever you have sieved is just right here. So it depends on how much quantity you need. You can keep sieving. If you find what you have sieved is little, and you have probably 100 sacks which you want to use. We showed you in one of the videos how we pack, how we prepare these sacks for farming. You can put some stones under, some gravel under. Then you add this kind of soil of the rubbish pit. This soil is very, very healthy. It's very, very nutritious. I've farmed onions in these semi-arid areas of northern Uganda where I farm from. I'm telling you, in a very small portion of sacks, probably 10 to 12, I can harvest 1.5 kilogram of onions. They are very, very good. They look very healthy because of the kind of the soil that we have. It has some smaller particles. I've shown you the calcium we have in it, the ash in it. This soil is very, very healthy. So you don't just have to sit there and you're like, I would have started some sack farming, some container farming, but again, where will I get the soil? The solution is here. Just subscribe to this channel. Please, you're going to enjoy farming with us. You're going to harvest a lot of food, health food for yourself. I told you in one of the videos that whenever you don't spend, you're saving. So if you don't spend any money on the onions, if you don't spend any money on the vegetables, things like collards, kales, they can grow very well in these containers. Carrots, things like the garden eggs, the eggplants, all those things can grow very well in sacks, in containers. So if you don't spend, it's very much true, you're saving. So we need to save a lot of money. And these are some of the cheap ways we are saving money. Remember, I told you we have the cheapest, the easiest, the quickest and best methods of farming. Subscribe, we do this together. We want to create very many hunger-free communities. But I cannot do this alone. We have to do it together. So I've shown you, it's a matter of coming with your wire mesh. Go to any rubbish pit around. Sieve that soil very well. Sieve it. The residues which remain on top, you can carry them and put them somewhere. You can fix a feeder road for the community if possible. If not, you can just leave them aside. One, that is what you're going to do. Then number two, you would have cleaned this place. Because wherever they gather this rubbish and it's burnt, that ash, it always accumulates, and you'll find it's a heap like this. So you, the farmer out there, you who is willing to start farming today or tomorrow or the other day, you are that one person who is going to maintain that cleanness in a cheapest way possible. You don't have to spend a lot of money that maybe I need trucks to carry this rubbish away. Burn it. The ash from it, the dust that we are going to get after sieving it, the dust is what we are going to use and farm and get health food. Remember, the food you have farmed for yourself, it is always very healthy. You know the contents you have used. We have here organic pesticides on this channel. What more do you need? Subscribe and we farm together. You use the organic pesticides, you farm your own food from your own simple, beautiful gardens. I started these things with small gardens, small sack, small containers, until today when God is making us bigger. You could see Christine of today, the apple farmer, and you're like, she's even farming apples. Yes, we started from there. Rome wasn't built in a day. So take courage. You can also do it. I've done it successfully. You can also do this successfully. Thank you very much for farming with us. We really appreciate the women farmers who are sharing videos with other people, with other fellow women farmers. We really appreciate the gentlemen out there who are like, oh, this lady, we need to work with her, we need to support her. We really appreciate. We love you so much. Keep farming with us. But above all, guys, I cannot leave you like that. I'll always tell you, you need that blessing from above. Any other thing can fail you around, but that blessing from above, nobody can pick it from you. That is the truth. They can try this, try that, but that blessing from above, it is just very unique, very beautiful. Let it swallow you today and you feel that blessing from above. So I'll pray and tell you, stay blessed in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Love you, family.